Well, it's another great morning in Newcastle, but today we are off to the City Ground, Nottingham. Well, we're safely inside the City Ground after the drive down here to Nottingham, and a familiar face on the front of the programme, a certain Elliot Anderson, who Newcastle unfortunately had to sell last summer, and in a move that obviously the fans weren't too impressed with, but it was where Newcastle were in terms of PSR. The only problem is today is this man going to come back to haunt us? It's going to be very interesting to see.
Of the month award. He's got a message for you guys as well. Let's have a look. Can we tell them what you're saying? How does that
So the dust settling here at Nottingham Forest City Ground. Newcastle United absolutely phenomenal today, beating a side that were third in the table going into this game, and I think really Eddie Howe and his players have to be proud of that performance. They really enjoyed lapping up the victory with the supporters at the end, and Newcastle fans, it looked like the away day from heaven from where I was standing. Newcastle fans going absolutely crazy for each of the 3 goals, and I think this win will restore a lot of confidence, if any confidence was lost at all, of course, because Eddie Howe has always maintained he's got belief. He's maintained that this team believe they can challenge for things, and he feels that again they can push for a European spot. Now, one of the things in the press conference that was discussed was, is this a team of warriors? And I think really the fact that Joe Linton comes off the pitch as a man of the match, in my opinion and a lot of other people's, with a 10 out of 10 performance, he set the tone. He epitomises what Newcastle really are. They battle for each other, and I think you've seen that. I think Bruno came off the pitch and he was chanting Joe Linton's name as he walked back into the dressing room, and I think that was a nice touch from him. Going into the international break now, Newcastle in a much better place than they were just a couple of weeks ago, just a fortnight ago at Chelsea when they lost 2-1. A lot of questions were asked, and I believe they have been answered now by Newcastle United players, by the staff, by the manager, by everybody behind the scenes. I think that 2-1 loss at Chelsea, it was on a day where they were unlucky. You can go back to the Brighton game where they lost 1-0. They were probably a bit unlucky in that one too. So here today, it was a test going 1-0 down, but they passed it with flying colours, and I think really the international break will give them a lot of time to enjoy this victory, because usually they don't get too long to enjoy each win. And I think really, you look at that table, it's absolutely wide open. Newcastle just a point behind the Champions League places, and you know, yes, they're in 8th, but if they put a run together, then they can be as good as they were a couple of seasons ago when they actually qualified for the Champions League. So much more to come from this team. I think if you look at the way Eddie Howe's team was set up today, they moved Joe Linton from one end of the pitch to the other. I think he ended up playing 3 positions, and he epitomised what they were all about. So a great 3-1 win. Looking back on the goals, Isak's now got 4 in 4. That's a massive positive. I think Joe Linton's strike was his first since the Southampton game at the start of the season, and it was a great angle to see from the press box. I think Eddie Howe said his view was blocked for it, so he missed it, but he didn't miss the celebrations. He was going absolutely wild in the dugout, and as well he should. And the third goal, Harvey Barnes getting free down that side. He started that move and finished it. An unbelievable sprint. Just shows you how hard these players are working for Eddie Howe. So a really memorable away win for Newcastle United. They will head to Saudi Arabia at the end of the week. They're going to spend some warm weather training time over there, and I think for the fans in the Middle East, they'll get a chance to see the players up front in an open training session. But ultimately, for the players, it'll be about a little bit of rest and recuperation first, and then some hard work in the sunshine in Saudi Arabia. And for Newcastle supporters, well, they can now look forward to that West Ham game in a couple of weeks' time on a Monday night. Gives Newcastle even more time to prepare for that game. And I think really, if Newcastle win that, they're going to be on a complete roll now. It's 3 wins out of 3 in all competitions. They can make it 4 and then go into the end of this month probably in the top 4. Then I think there's everything to play for. That's still in both the other competitions, of course. You've got the Brentford quarter-final to enjoy. So hopefully Newcastle United can really do something this season. What I witnessed on that pitch today, I've got a feeling they can do something special again. That's where we are with this team again. I think last season they had some difficulties with injuries. They're starting to overcome them this season. The only sour point today was Anthony Gordon going off. Eddie Howe describing him as a doubt for the England fixtures in his press conference. But other than that, a great day for Newcastle, and the fans head back up the road in jubilant spirits.